This video demonstrates how to assemble your new John Deere 130-pound push spreader. While assembling, do not fully tighten any bolts until you're directed. First, press a hex bushing part T into an end of each hopper tube part 8. Then align the axle gearbox assembly part 6 as seen with the hole on the axle on your left. Now slide on the hopper support tubes part 8 onto the axle. Then align the stand tube part 7 and assemble a 1/4 by 2 inch hex bolt part C and a medium spacer part Q. Loosely secure it with a 1/4 inch nylock nut part K. Now repeat for the other side. Leave the bolts loose for now. Next, press a 3/8 inch plastic bushing part V into the cross brace part 4. Then slide the cross brace down over the impeller shaft and align it with the hopper support tubes. Now loosely secure it with 2 1/4 inch by 2.5 inch hex bolts part B and 1/4 inch nylock nuts part K. Leave the bolts loose for now. Next, slide the spreader impeller part 3 down onto the impeller shaft. Now insert an 1/8 inch by 1.5 inch hairpin cotter part H through the spreader impeller and the impeller shaft and spread the ends of the pin open. Next, install the flattened end of the drive link rod, part AA, into the hole in the float plate and then rotate it into place. Install the drive link bracket part Z onto the end of the drive link rod, part X. Then assemble the drive link bracket part Z and loosely secure it with a 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch hex bolt part E and a 1/4 inch nylock nut part K. Secure the nut, then back it off a 1/4 to a 1/2 turn, ensuring the bracket can pivot on the bolt. Next, slide the hopper part 1 down onto the impeller shaft. Then press the hopper bushing part U onto the impeller shaft and hopper. Now slide on a small spacer part O and then insert the hairpin agitator part J. Next, assemble 4 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch hex bolts part D with 1/4 inch washers part N and nylon washers part L. Now, insert them down through the hopper and the hopper support tubes. Then fully secure them with 1/4 inch nylock nuts part K. Next, fully secure the 4 bolts securing the stand tube and the hopper tubes. Now identify the side of the axle with the hole and slide a 5/8 inch washer part M onto the axle, followed by a large spacer part P. Then slide on a 5/8 inch washer part M. Now slide on a wheel with the valve stem facing out. Then secure the wheel with a 3/16 inch by 2 inch cotter pin part G, spreading the ends of the pin open. Then tap on a hubcap part W. Now slide on a 5/8 inch washer part M, followed by a large spacer part P onto the other side of the axle. Then slide on another 5/8 inch washer part M, followed by a wheel part 10. Then tap a hubcap part W onto the axle. Next, align a handle tube part 2 and fully secure it with a 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch hex bolt part D and a 1/4 inch nylock nut part K. Then repeat for the other side. Next, assemble 2 1/4 inch washers, part N, and 2 1/4 inch by 2.5 inch hex bolts, part B. Now align them with the flow control assembly, part 9. Then assemble 2 more 1/4 inch washers, part N. Next, slide the assembly through the handle tubes and loosely secure it with 2 1/4 inch nylock nuts, part K. Leave it a bit loose. Next, insert the lower end of the flow control rod, part 5, through the hole in the end of the drive link bracket, part Z, and rotate it so the end points down. Insert the upper end into the flow control arm and secure it with a 1/4 inch washer, part N, and the 3/32 by 3/4 inch hairpin cotter, part I. Now press the control arm grip, part Y, onto the flow control arm. Then press on the handle grips, part A. Next, assemble a 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch carriage bolt, part F, and adjustable stop, part S. Slide the assembly up through the flow control gauge. Then guide on a nylon washer, part L, and secure it with the wing nut, part R. Now, set the adjustable stop to 5. Then pull the control lever against the stop and verify that the shutoff plate has opened about halfway. If the shutoff plate does not open halfway, adjust the position of the control bracket until the shutoff plate opens about halfway and closes completely. Then secure the control bracket. Do not over-tighten it. Ensure the flow plate is completely open at the highest setting and completely closed in the off position. Readjust as necessary.